to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from here, and this has been like a therapy session.
Razabani for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. With me, promoter Dmitry Salita and GT, trainer of Clarissa Shields. Guys.
Before we start, I want to say GT is also the trainer of Floyd Mayweather. And Leonard Ellerby called me before he started working with Clarissa. When I first met him, he was like, man, GT is the truth. And last camp, actually, GT was with Floyd in Japan, so he only got a couple of days of working. This camp, he's been with her for the whole camp, and he's been tremendous. And we're very, and obviously you saw the result. So GT is a young guy on the scene, and really the future. He actually gave me some pads last week in the gym, right? Yeah. Made me a little tired.
Until you got tired.
Made me remember the good old days. But great night of boxing, and great to be working with great people.
GT, do you want to just elaborate on those words?
Oh yeah, man, I appreciate all the love. Whoever thinks I'm great, man, I try to be, and I'm gonna continue to try to be. Clarissa made us look great in there, man. The whole team, me and John as trainers, Dmitry as promoter, and Mark as a manager. She's like a magnet to success, and now millions. She is a master manifester by selecting great people like Mark and Dmitry from the jump. This is probably one of the best managers I've ever seen in my life. He speaks like a poetress. This guy right here is a master promoter. You'll see him on top. He'll be recognized as alongside names as like Arum, King, Mayweather, Al Heyman, and the rest of them.
You make me blush.
No. I'm being dead serious, man. It's the small things, and people, genius peep genius, and I see the genius in you, and the world, and you're young, so and you start out as a fighter, and that's what boxing needs. The sport needs more people like you that fought it, and it can deliver, and you're doing a great job, and I commend you. And I'm happy to be.
I didn't pay him for this endorsement,
but you owe me.
GT. Before I let you go, just one quick one. Does it make it ever so satisfying that you came here? You came on away soil. Boos were coming from that crowd. Everyone was against you, and you were victorious.
Yeah, it's very satisfying. I'm waiting for my anxiety to go away because I've been overseas as a fighter many times, and I failed to the judges. I beat the guy, but I failed to the judges, and so I was more worried about that. So I'm super strict on the fighter, so I was screaming no rope, no corner. I don't like none of that. Even though she was winning the rounds, even though she was winning the exchanges on the corners and the rope, I don't like corners and ropes at all, especially on foreign territory. So I'll feel better later, but yeah, you're right.
So one thing I want to say before we go into the ring, and I knew GT was nervous. I said, GT, game plan good? We good? He said, yeah, man, yeah. But he was, so when we talked about that, he came down, he was calm, he projected confidence, which projected back to me. And when Clarissa was walking down that path and everybody was booing, I was like, we got this, man.
So, what does it say about someone like Clarissa who danced into the ring, oozing with confidence, get into the ring and start so quickly, set the pace to Savannah?
So let me say this. First of all, can I bring in Mark Taffet, please, before I answer this question? So Mark Taffet, for young people that some know, some don't know, was the head of Adriel pay-per-view, promoted some of the biggest and the best fights ever in the history of the sport. One of the highest level business professionals, a Hall of Famer in the business of boxing. I'm very grateful that I've started working with Mark and with Clarissa from the beginning of our career and have learned so much from Mark, who has really mentored me. And for me, it's been incredible. So I want to say thank you on camera.
That's wonderful. I'd give you a kiss, but my mother might not approve.
I mean, really, and I really want to say this, as someone involved in the business, behind the scenes, Mark Taffet is responsible for the building of women's boxing, because the first rivalry ever was Clarissa Shields versus Christina Hammer, and Mark master planned it from the beginning, and then Savannah Marshall and all the fights in between, and with his richest history of being a top executive at HBO and giving us the biggest fights. Clarissa and women's boxing is benefiting, and I'm benefiting, so thank you.
Resume there.
Yeah.
Had a huge
Dimitri, what about getting one over Ben Shalom as well?
Ben, come Ben. You coming here? I don't know. He's drinking.
1-0 Dimitri.
So Ben, we started our friendship about a year ago, and he's a new face in the sport of boxing, which is great. And we've had a pretty good working relationship, I would say, right? And I think that this opened the door for other possibilities, for other fights, and for other things with us. And this is our kind of third fight, because September 10th almost happened, and I see his professionalism, the team around him really getting better and better, and he's a bona fide big player in the sport of boxing, and it's great to have him as a friend, to have him as a business partner, and to explore the possibilities of doing big fights together.
Ben, during the week, whenever you were trying to big up Savannah, he had his mic ready to big up Clarissa. It's all settled. That was business. I know you're great friends, but does it make sense to do this fight again?
It 100% makes sense to do this fight again. What I would say just first off is, when we announce this fight, it doesn't just sell out the O2 instantly. It doesn't just sell in 100 countries instantly. We had to work incredibly hard. The story, I'm so proud of the teams. They had to work so hard. People thought, as I said, we were crazy doing an all-women's night. I remember when we discussed it at the start, we did it, and we did this, and it was incredible. It was very, very hard work, but an incredible feeling to pull it off. I think it has to happen again. I think Clarissa started well, but Savannah came into the fight very much so, and I think it demands more minutes, it demands more rounds. I think Savannah also will know what she's dealing with. There were different fighters 10 years ago. She'll now know her strengths and weaknesses, and I know that's the fight that she'll want next.
Would you guys come, and I mean this in all seriousness, and I feel that the fans would follow, would you come to the United States?
Yeah. I think it deserves for Clarissa. Clarissa had to come over here because really the home of women's boxing has been in the UK. We have built this, let's be honest. We have made this phenomenon, together, all the promoters. And now, the US, apparently, the interest in this fight was just off the scale. The whole night at ESPN, I was sat next to Todd DeBuff, who's the top-ranked president. He was showing me the numbers. He was doing better numbers than Haney Kambosos, and that just says what a big fight this was. And so it's got the legs for the US. I think it's a massive, massive rematch, and it will happen at the right time. And again, I hope that we can start taking the sport seriously now and looking at the rounds and because it's so hard to score 2-minute rounds. It's incredibly hard, and it's over in a flash. And when you've got this level of athletes, it can go a lot longer, in my opinion.
I'm going to get a quick handshake or a hug.
Well done, bro.
Final comments with you, Dimitri. Overall, impressed with everything and how everything went, and obviously leaving as champions.
For sure. So what I want to say, first question that you asked me before we brought in All-Star cast. The reason why this win is so great is because you have to understand where Clarissa came from. She's from Flint, Michigan, one of the most challenged places in the United States. In her community, in her family, all her surroundings was very tough. She could have made an excuse every day of the week, which would be validified to say, you know what, I'm too tired to go to the gym. I want to do this. I want to go hang out. I want to smoke. I want to drink. But she didn't. She picked to stay positive, to go to the gym, to follow a dream, which wasn't even a reality because women's boxing wasn't even a business. And I read about Clarissa Shields in the Wall Street Journal before 2016 Olympics, and immediately when I read about her, I said, this is the hottest, best fighter coming out of the Olympics. And then I made way, and I was able to contact her, and we worked out a relationship. And from the beginning to this, the journey has been incredible, and this is such a historic night. I think all of us are going to remember it. Clarissa is Pele, Muhammad Ali, Jackie Robinson, Michael Jordan of this generation, one of the greatest athletes of our sport that transcends the sport of boxing. Her story outside the ring, her performance inside the ring, the rivalry with Savannah Marshall. And, I love the British boxing fans. There's nothing like it, really. And even when Clarissa was coming out and she was getting boos, it shows how emotionally involved they are. So we'd love to come back here. I'd love to pursue a rematch. I don't know if it's the next one, and I do think that there's mountains still to climb for Clarissa, and things to do to project the sport of boxing to the highest level.
Dimitri, I appreciate your time. Once again, many congratulations to yourself, your team, and obviously Clarissa. Safe travels back to the United States of America, and we'll definitely catch up with you soon.
We have a Showtime event next week on October 21st, and I think it may get broadcast in the UK, from what I hear. So check it out. All right. October 21st.
Absolutely. Dimitri Salita for IFL TV. Thank you very much.
I'm going to share something with you that might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.